Hi, Robin with Oxy-Dry. Here I am in the middle floor, actually, of this home. And this house is just over the bridge from downtown Kelowna, in West Kelowna, called, I think it's called Harbor Point or something like that. And obviously we've got a little marina here, and this is a very high-end house. Beautiful spot here. This carpet is 11 years old and has never been cleaned. I vacuumed it, obviously, and did all the edges and corners, and it was perfectly clean. I couldn't find any, there's no visible soiling anywhere on this carpet. There's some pooling and shading. You see that dark patch there, and it's light here. And then I showed her how you go over here and you look at it from another direction, and you see, oh look, it's light here and dark over there now. So that's pooling and shading, and I explained how that happens on a rug and everything. We're fine with that. So we're doing that room in the closet, and we're doing this guest room. And I'm missing a machine. Let's go see if I can find my. Let's go see if I can find my machine. What's over here? Oh, looky at that. An elevator. Isn't that handy? So I'll be able to send the machine back up the elevator rather than having to go up the spiral staircase, which is nice. Don't see that too often, but when you're in a house with an elevator, it isn't a cheap house. I remember many years ago, I had a friend in Victoria, and his dad had built this house. His mom had mobility issues, and they put a shaft in. They never actually did put the elevator in. I guess, I'm not sure why, but anyway, that was the first time I'd ever seen an elevator actually in a house, and no, it's not all that uncommon, I guess, especially at least in these high-end houses anyway with multiple stories. But it does something, eh? Okay, we'll plug in over here, and let's clean a carpet. Now I'm cleaning with Nanomax, 1/2 ounce per gallon. There's no visible soiling on this carpet, and I didn't find a single spot anywhere. And I decided we're going to do a single step cleaning, and I'm using the green stripe rayon. So it's got the rayon fiber with the green stripe is polypropylene loops there. It's a long time for a carpet to go without getting clean, but as I say, there's no visible soiling on this carpet, and they're obviously taking care of it. I had actually thought of using the two-way pad on this one, which would have been just fine too, I think, but I thought, well, another round has a bit more absorbency, and there is a little bit of pile distortion in some areas, and I thought, well, the polypropylene scrub strips, the loops, the green loops there, are green stripes, might be a little bit better for this rug, so that's why I opted to go with this particular pad, just so you know what I was thinking. There's a little doggy in here, and he's well, I guess he's around 10 pounds or so, but doesn't look like he's having any accidents on the carpet that I could see anyway. And if there were some that I hadn't seen when I pre-vacuumed, I would see them at this point, because with that light on there, it's really quite amazing how spots and stains that you don't see normally will show up with that nice floodlight on the carpet as I go. And that's one of the reasons why I do definitely recommend you putting a light on your machine. Once you get a light on your machine, you'll never go back. You'll realize how really important it actually is. It's not hard to do. I've done videos where I show how I did it. That's just a light. I picked it up at a car parts place like Lordco or whatever. I think that's where I actually got it. It was Lordco. And there's different sizes and different, some put out more, some put out less light. And it comes with a bracket, and I just put a stainless steel bolt through the tank. Nice snug fit so that when it tightens up it won't leak. There's a washer on the inside and a nylock nut there that holds it in place. And then the wire comes out of the light, comes onto up to that box right there. And then there's a wire. I showed a video where I showed how I hooked it up to this machine. And every machine will hook up at least slightly different anyway. It's very easy to do. And if you're uncomfortable with playing with the wiring, you can get a vacuum repair place to probably do that modification for you to hook up your wires. It's not hard though. Not a big deal at all. Just what I recommend is putting it on the hot side of the switch. In other words, the black wire that comes. You got 3 wires coming in on your lead. You've got your black, your white, and your green. Green is the ground, obviously. White is your common. And so the black will go to one side of the switch, and if you want to hook up your one side of your light to that side, so that when you plug in the machine, the light will turn on, rather than having the light turn on when you turn your switch on only. So that, and then the reason for that is so that if you're plugging in the machine and you're a ways away from it, you can plug it in and turn around and look and see that the light comes on, and you got power there. Although this machine actually does have this light on here anyway, but not all machines have that. Just little things that you can do that make your life easier and more efficient in what you do. So now you see that weird looking brownish looking stain there? I've seen that before. A few years ago, somebody called me back because there's these weird brown stains on the rug, and I came into the room. I'm looking at the carpet. It's like, wow, that's really weird. And then I realized what was happening there is that they had these glass little balls in a basket near the window, and the light was hitting the glass and then refracting that onto the carpet and leaving what was kind of a brownish golden looking spot on the rug. Anyway, what we're seeing here is actually reflection from this thing on the wall. It's just a reflection of light. Anyway, that was one of the things that sometimes you can't get out a stain because it's a shadow or a reflection. I remember one time, this has happened more than one time, but I remember one time in particular, somebody called me back and says, yeah, there's a black spot in the middle of my dining room you left behind. And so I come in there, I'm looking at this black spot. It's like, okay, that's weird. It was pretty obvious too. And then I looked up and I realized there was a fixture in the middle of the dining room, and because there was no table at the time, and there was a light on there, and in the middle of the light was I guess the thing, the nut for holding it up or whatever, had left. So there was a shadow, and the fixture would move. So I just pushed the fixture, and the fixture moved back and forth, and so did the black spot. So we had a big laugh. And I'm like, okay, you wasted my time. But anyway, you kind of just gotta go with it. These are things that happen in this business. And you gotta be very polite. Anyway, this carpet just simply does not look soiled, but it's brightening up nevertheless. Because, as I mentioned to her, that although it really doesn't look very soiled, there will be a film over the carpet, because when you dust your home, you're constantly wiping this dust that settles on the furniture and everything. Well, that dust also settles onto the carpet, and that dust will contain some oils and sticky kind of things that will adhere to the carpet fiber that does not come off very readily when you vacuum. So over time you will get a bit of a film on the rug, and even though the carpet really doesn't look very dirty, when you go and clean it and you get that film off, you'll often see the carpet brighten up quite a bit, even though it didn't really look very dirty at all. It will be, especially after, in this case, 11 years. That's a long time. I'm gonna just go over these traffic areas a little bit more. I really don't need to do this from a visual point of view, but it'll just take me a couple of seconds, and I think that's not a bad idea. We'll go out to the door. And I'm going to go over to the entry to the bathroom here, because that would have been our traffic area into here. Okay, we'll go over to the entry. Look at that. Isn't that interesting? I was actually expecting that. Although the carpet didn't look dirty, it really had a lot of oils stuck to the fibers. So we'll do the B side on here, I think. Pretty sure this is actually an olefin, by the way, an olefin cut pile. Actually, a cut and loop, come to think of it. That texture you see on the carpet, there's like bends or whatever. So the difference is them is the like right there. That's cut pile, and then all around it, that's loops. And I find that these type of pads, the rayon blend, polyester, even the two-way, work really well on this type of carpet fiber. Bear that in mind. They will often, even though the carpet doesn't look very dirty, you'll often pick up the pad after and it'll be just black. Like when I did the hotel carpet, which I videoed and posted a few days ago. The pads in that building, they come up, every one of them come up absolutely black. And by the way, they actually emailed my wife yesterday, I guess, saying that they were very thrilled with the job. The thing turned out really good, and they will be calling us to come back and clean the whole place again next year. And that was well, let's just say it was over $2,500, and took me 6 or 7 hours in total. I mean, I worked the whole way, pushing all along, and I actually had tried, believe it or not, I actually did try my roto wash on it. I was thinking I was going to use it, but I realized pretty quickly that it just didn't. This wasn't going to quite cut it, but that's okay. I knew it was a possibility to use it, but was prepared to not use it. And then, of course, back to the tried and true SETT method with the Roto SETT Centaur Rabbit rotary machine, and away I went and cleaned it at, worked out to about 4,000 square feet an hour. And you can't beat that. And it cleaned beautiful. And I used the green stripe AstroTurf pads, and they came up black. Just quite shocking how black they were. I was actually surprised how black they came up. And again, that carpet did not look like it was dirty. Just like this does not look like it's dirty yet. Look how black that pad was from that one room. I think that this type of pad does remove soil more effectively on this type of carpet than other pads. That's my feeling about it. But they certainly do work well anyway, don't they? You can tell. You can see. What I'm getting at is there's no one pad that is the answer for everything. Each pad has its strengths and weaknesses, advantages, disadvantages, or whatever. So don't get yourself stuck in a rut with just one. And it's more interesting when you can choose anyway. Different pads, different cleaning products, a little bit different technique on one rug carpet versus another. So, and that's what I like about using this method, is it just keeps you thinking all the time. You walk in the door and you go, okay, what is this carpet? What does this carpet need? What's the best way to go about cleaning this one? It's not one way, every day. And that's, again, why one of the reasons I really like using the SETT method. It just keeps you thinking. I don't get bored doing this. And then the technique of just handling the rotary does require you to be paying attention to what you're doing. Even the way I'm just maneuvering it right now, I'm always aware of where this machine is and what it's doing and what's happening on the carpet. I'm always watching, and I get the results go to the video I did yesterday. It would have been, I posted on March 30th, that where I took out the slime out of the carpet. That was an incredible accomplishment, really. And it just goes to show you just how well you can clean with this methodology when you understand how to use it. It just keeps you on your toes, keeps you thinking, keeps you engaged, and keeps you learning. And that's what that really helps when you're always learning. Nobody knows everything. I don't claim to at all. Okay, let's have a look at this pad. This will be the B side and just this guest room. Now this will be interesting because they said that this room hardly used at all. And look, that's a fair amount. And you know what we're going to do? For a room that's hardly ever used and isn't, what is that, 150 square feet or so? Let's go over this traffic area again with the B side. Because I'm curious to see if we, because there was this was the side I used in here. So we'll just go over the traffic areas quickly here with this side. So we'll just take a look and see if I pull more up. I got time. I might like to play around sometimes. Okay. We're running at 300 RPM. I could have run at 300 RPM when I first came across here, but when I first cleaned it, but I actually forgot to. So we're just going over the traffic areas. We'll see if there's a visible increase of blackness on this pad on the going over this room again. This is the room, obviously. This is the master bedroom and the closet, so this is the room that they've been using all these years, 11 years. Really, this is actually overkill for this rug, but I'm just curious. And I think I try to be curious. I'm just adding a little bit of solution as I go, just to make sure that that pad remains just a little bit damp. I don't want to over wet it. I won't accomplish anything other than getting it wet. Now we know that when we clean a carpet, there will always be something left behind no matter what you do. You'll never get all the soil out. That's never going to be a possibility. But because if we're using an encapsulating cleaner, what remains in the cleaner that remains behind will continue to hold, collect, encapsulate, and hold soil, and then won't stick to the fibers, and any subsequent vacuuming will remove more of that soil. It's an ongoing process even after you leave the job. But I don't like the idea of just straight encapsulating. I'm a pad extraction believer. Okay, let's just go over here and we'll take a look at the B side. That'll be a spike. Oh, yeah. Virtually nothing, which is what I expected. Okay, so we'll let you go. Thank you for watching and have a good day.